What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Ohio SS channel. My name is Ivan, and today we're going to talk about the MSI GE66 Raider, the highest spec laptop that I got over the Black Friday Cyber Monday deals. Is it a deal? It's up to you. You're going to make that call, because this laptop, even after all the discounts, costed $1,800. That's a lot of money. Without the discount, it's over $2,000, $2,200 to be exact. This is a lot of money for a mobile computer that you're gonna have to spend and you're gonna have to play with for the next couple of years. So is it worth it? Let's check it out. Straight into the unboxing, and then we're gonna talk about a little bit more about the details. And this rather big box branded MSI. I believe there's another box, but let's see. True gaming. All right, we'll see how true it is. Again, MSI, $1,800. That's quite a lot of money for a gaming laptop. You can imagine you can make a pretty sweet high-end gaming desktop for that kind of money. Okay, little note from MSI. We're here to help. Good to know. A little box on the side first. This is the 280 watt power supply. Quite chunky, probably the biggest power supply in my possession. We have the regular Mickey Mouse cable on the side and the power supply, which is gigantic, Delta branded. Very nice power supply, 280 watts, very powerful. We have the proprietary rectangular adapter at the end. We need a lot of power for that RTX 2070 Super, which is not Max Q. Join the MSI reward program now. All right, good. We're not gonna join now, but we're gonna look at this beautiful laptop. All aluminum chassis, high-end gaming laptop, probably one of the highest ends from MSI. Nice MSI branded recycle fabric. Throughout the video, keep thinking about, do you really need this kind of laptop, and does it worth your money? I know a lot of people game on the go all the time. They really don't have desktops or really don't have the need of desktops. But at the same time, you can get the Gateway Creator Series for $699, and that laptop is perfectly capable for playing any games at the moment. Does 2070 Super going to deliver 3 times better performance? No, definitely not. It's not going to be 3 times better. It's going to be probably double, not even double, but we're going to test that and see. That's just my opinion. Quick note on the whole pricing, because a lot of these high-end laptops cater to a specific group of people. They really need the high-end gaming. But if you have a desktop that you game predominantly, if you want something that it's good enough on the go for you to be able to go around, travel and game, I would definitely recommend the Creator Series from Gateway. A lot better, $699, almost 3 times less as this laptop, because on sale that was $1,800, but regular price is over $2,000. So $2,000, does it worth it? I'm having a hard time justifying it. Nice MSI logo on the top. It's not lit up, which I absolutely appreciate. We have the light bar, the RGB light bar right in the front. We're gonna see how that looks. And at the bottom, very beautiful. We have long rubber feet on the front and 2 shorter one on the back. Perforations around where all the cooling system it is. Very nice factory seal. I don't know why they put that. Again, as mentioned in previous videos, in America there's no such a thing as warranty void, so this is just something you don't need to be worried about. If you want to upgrade the internals, you can always check it out. Let's go on the back first this time around and see. Power, HDMI, RJ45, and we have USB-C, which is for data transfer only. I don't think you can charge through this, obviously. And we have the mini display port on this side. And on the left side on the laptop, we have more exhaust points. We have the combination headphone and microphone jack. We have another USB-C, super fast, and we have another 3.1 USB 3. The right side, more exhaust ventilation and 2 more USB 3.1 Gen 2 with a SD card slot. Very nice to see that, and very well appreciated with all the content creators. Both sides are perforated for the speakers. No subwoofer speaker on the bottom, but let's go ahead and open it real quick. Oh, this is really nice. I mean, it's not $1,800 nice, but I really appreciate it. We have a nice microfiber MSI branded cloth inside that you can wipe the screen or the keyboard. Good job MSI including this. The keyboard, no numeric pads on the side. We have another padding right here, right below the screen. So they took a very good care of making sure this is well protected. Sticker that says ultra fast 240 hertz display. Now RTX stickers on this side. Really hate that placement because your palm is going to be resting on top of it all the time. Eventually with time this is going to peel off or fade away. They should have really placed them on this side. And this GE66 Raider sticker with all the specs outlined on this side, I mean, that has to be peeled off definitely if you're using this SteelSeries keyboard. A lot of people swear by it, but I really don't see a huge difference between this keyboard and some of my other gaming laptops. I had some experience with it. Yeah, the keys are slightly larger, and that's a plus, but at the same time, does it cost as much? I don't think so. Full in-key RGB, we're gonna see that. Power button is part of the keyboard. Not a huge fan of that. I would prefer it to be separate, definitely. And here is the light bar. You probably can see how it lights up right in the front. Quite nice, actually, but again, it really depends if you are a fan of that kind of stuff. I am personally okay with it. Let's set it up real quick and we'll be right back.
Hi there, I'm Cortana, and I'm here to help.
First thing to mention after entering Windows is how much bloatware was on this laptop. Actually, this is the most bloatware I've seen on a laptop since I started doing reviews. It's quite overwhelming. We have audio director for MSI. We have color director for MSI. LinkedIn, I don't know why it's here. Makes no sense on a gaming laptop. All the Microsoft Office stuff that needs to be removed as well. Microsoft Sudoku, again, complete bloatware, doesn't need to be here. MSI App Player, MSI Nvme Foundation Services, MSI SDK, MSI Truecaller, Music Maker Jam, nVme, I don't know what even this is it. Norton Security, bloatware. This is all bloatware right here. Photo Director 10, essential for MSI. Power Director 17, essential for MSI. All that stuff doesn't need to be here. Remote desktop, but we have 10 to 15 programs we have to remove before we start using the computer. This is definitely not the ideal situation, and they should take note from Gateway and some other companies, including very minimal bloatware on their computers. We don't need any of that stuff. If we need it, we're gonna install it. Few minor things to mention. Again, keep in mind, this is a $2,000 laptop, and these kind of things should not be present on a $2,000 laptop. The edges right here at the end where the light bar is, because it's plastic and it's attached to the aluminum, they're kind of raised above the aluminum a little bit and they're scratching. They're kind of sharp. Right here, you can probably hear it. And if you kind of slide your hands constantly here, you can even cut yourself. I mean, look, and making scratches on both sides. This is definitely something I would not want to see on a $2,000 laptop for sure. Annoyances like that should not be occurring. Also, the touchpad, I know it's a gaming laptop, but the touchpad is kind of on the small side. The one on the Gateway is a lot bigger, on the HP is a lot bigger. This is probably the smallest I've seen in a while. Minor annoyances that I want to tell you about, because this is something that bothers me if I'm the owner of this laptop for a long period of time. But yeah, let me go ahead and remove some of these bloatwares and we're gonna move on. All right, first we're gonna cover a few things around the software, but I'm gonna switch from this view to the desktop. First thing I did was disable Optimus. Very easily done through the Dragon Center, which is the MSI software. But let me switch and I will continue to explain how it's done. All right, in a Dragon Center, first thing we're gonna look at, right away it shows you what mode you are currently on. And user scenario, I guess is the what they call the different modes. We have extreme performance, we have balance, silent, super battery, and a user one. Currently, by default, is balanced. But of course, if we select any of the other ones, it will give you a different perspective. A powerful mode that boosts the highest possible performance for AAA games for certain CPU and GPUs. You can overclock in advanced settings. So I guess they give you options to overclock the CPU and the GPU, which is great. I mean, that's something you would expect with a laptop of high end like this. I'm gonna leave it for balance at the moment. For gaming, we're gonna do different tests in a different video and we're gonna see the difference between the different modes there. General settings, we can lock the Windows key, we can do the display overdrive. By the way, speaking of the display, I'm gonna show you what the display is real quick. Good to report, 1080p sharp display with 8 milliseconds response time, 240 Hertz. It is 300 nits brightness, 100% sRGB. Very, very good display. Unfortunately, we are lacking G-Sync or FreeSync, so that's kind of a negative for this display, but the rest of it is great. One of the best displays I've seen currently on any of my laptops. Probably the best close would be the one on the Lenovo Legion, but that's going to be covered on a different video. Again, very good display. If I go back to the Dragon Center, you can do display overdrive. Here on the GPU switch, we can select between hybrid graphics and discrete graphics. Currently I have a discrete graphics so that I can record my screen. Webcam you can disable or enable the 1080p webcam, which is not bad at all. The camera quality is actually pretty good when it comes to gaming laptops, of course. And you have on display crosshair. In monitor we can see actually what kind of CPU and GPU usage we have. Also storage, we have how much storage we have, the temperatures on the CPU and the GPU, RAM, how much the fan is spinning. Currently we have only the CPU fan going because we're not doing anything GPU intensive. Speaking of fans, they're quite noisy on the top level when you start really playing, but that's to be expected. True color, you can select the different profiles for color, gamer, anti-blue, sRGB, office, or movie. That's good to see as well. Gaming highlights, this is kind of like what the NVIDIA does, where we record the gaming highlights, and they want you to download their MSI app. So no thank you. Ambient link, so ambient link, this is kind of going with MSI Mystic Light. So the different games have their own profiles to use the lights of the keyboard and the light bar to kind of match the screen. So that's kind of nice, I guess, if you're into this kind of stuff. For me, that's really not a big benefit, but cool, I guess. And noise cancellation, so you can select noise cancellation for the speakers and the microphone. This is nice. I'm gonna test that while gaming and see if it's really gonna help a lot or not. So a lot of options here. I'm kind of pleased with what they're offering you, especially the ability to turn off Optimus directly into the software and not having to go to the BIOS. Of course, you can do it in the BIOS as well, but it's a lot easier for most people here. So that's it. Let's look at a few other things. So we have CPU-Z, that's going to show us the processor. Like I mentioned, i7-10700H, 6 cores, 12 threads with 13.5 megabytes of cache. Boosts across all 6 cores, 4.6 gigahertz, and 1 or 2 cores are going to 5 gigahertz if you need that. If we go to the main board, you will see that the date of the BIOS is from May, end of May this year. Well, actually last year now. So I gotta see if there's any future or newer BIOS updates, but this is quite old. Memory, as mentioned, 32 gigabytes, and of course it's running on 2933. Great to see. Some of the earlier versions of this laptop and other high-end MSI gaming laptops came with 2666 megahertz memory, which it's not ideal. I would rather have the 2933 as spec'd by Intel. And the memory is actually Samsung. Very, very nice, 3200 megahertz running at 2933, 2070 Super, made by MSI, of course. The memory is Samsung, DDR6, of course. 2070 Super, still very good card. Obviously now the 3000 generation mobile graphics cards are coming up very soon in a couple months, so I'm excited about those coming up. I'm definitely going to grab some laptops to review on the channel if I can, and performance there will be a lot better than these current generations, 30-40% depending on which one you're getting. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, and we have a hardware monitor. These are the temperatures we're getting, not even gaming, so I really want to see how much is going to be the temperature rising when I run Cinebench R20. Another thing to mention is the main drive, 1 terabyte NVMe drive, is Samsung. That's great to see. And if we run the benchmark on that drive, yes, definitely this is one of the fastest Samsung drives. We have write speeds and read speeds that are very close. The write is almost 2500 megabytes per second and the read is almost 3000, so very good drive speeds. One of the fastest, actually this is the fastest drive I have among all my other laptops, but that's to be expected for $2,000. I mean, it better be very fast, right? So here are the final results: 5,588 points, Excellent speeds of that Samsung drive. Very, very impressive. On to Cinebench R20. Let's run this one and see what kind of results we're gonna get from this CPU. You can definitely hear on my microphone how loud the fan of the CPU is, which the fan of the CPU is right here on the left side and the GPU is on the right side. So quite loud. You can imagine if both are running at the same speed, it's gonna be pretty loud. But as long as it does the job, it's not that big of a problem. If you're wearing headphones and gaming, I don't think that will be an issue. All right, Cinebench R20 is finished. Then we have a score of a little over 3,000 points. Obviously not great, especially comparing it to the Ryzen processors. Even the Ryzen 4600H on the HP Pavilion gaming laptop that it's only $450 outperformed this one by a lot. It's good enough for gaming. Just a quick comparison here. Let's see the temperature right now. We hit some thermal throttling. 96 degrees, 97 degrees. That's a bit of a concern considering that Cinebench, it's not the most intensive program that stresses the CPU. To see that thermal throttling hit, it's not good. Maybe if we can undervolt, that will help us with 34 degrees, but still above 90, definitely not great. You'll see that the processor went up to 4.8 gigahertz, 4.7. But yeah, it heat up pretty badly. I'm not really impressed with this one. Other software that we have is the MSI and SteelSeries. It will give us the option to customize our light bar RGB and create different zones. Same thing goes for the keyboard, which it's not the brightest, but I like the size of the keys and it's very comfortable to type. Just keep in mind that power button right here to actually set it up in Windows, not turn off the computer when you hit it. Otherwise, some accidental press will turn it off or put it on sleep. I'm gonna leave this light bar by default. Really not too crazy about customizing it, making it different. But you know, if this makes the laptop being so expensive, I can achieve the same result with, you know, $35 laptop mat that has exactly the same light bar and kind of level of customization. So I don't know, I think that's really shouldn't be the selling point right here. And yeah, this is the keyboard. We can actually have, and every single individual key can be set a different color. This is a great customization. It's probably the best I've seen so far implemented on any keyboards, but again, that has to be expected for $2,000+ Overall, a lot of good things to say here. Very fast graphics card, relatively fast processor, great screen. Unfortunately, no G-Sync or FreeSync on it, but still pretty fast, 240 Hertz at 8 milliseconds. Very good customizations. You can disable Optimus. And of course, on the next video, we're gonna run some games. We're gonna compare it to the other laptops. I'm expecting this one, obviously, to outperform all of them, having one of the fastest GPUs currently for mobile. That's the RTX 2070 Super, not Max Q, the full-fledged 2070 Super mobile. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's it for now. Let's go on to the conclusion. All right, guys, you guys saw the unboxing. You saw some of the details. We checked out the components, memory, processor, graphics card. All of it is a top spec for this generation, for this laptop. Core i7 10700H, NVIDIA RTX 2070 Super, 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, 2933 megahertz. We have killer Wi-Fi, which in fact is Intel AX201. Top spec stuff. We have great keyboard by SteelSeries. We have completely metal chassis all around. Nothing really bad to say about that. Here and there, you saw we have some minor issues, like the light bar, it's not even. It can scratch you in the front. Some very, very nitpicky stuff that I'm really particular about. You saw the giant brick. Is really a giant brick considering how much smaller the HP one is at 150 watts and how much smaller the Gateway one is at 200 watts. But this one at 280 watts, that's pretty much a power supply for desktop. So yeah, quite big. Hinges, the way they're done, it's not the most attractive look, but they're very sturdy. The build quality overall of the hinge, the screen, the way it feels with the rubber around, it's extremely high quality. It's very well done and I have no complaints whatsoever. Ports selection is great. BIOS is great. You can go through so many options for overclocking or undervolting. You can disable Optimus. That way you're gonna get better performance. And you're gonna see performance in my next video with a lot of games. Definitely is a lot better than what I was expecting. And it's about 20 to about 30% more than RTX 2060. But again, you're gonna have to make that call. Does the spending of $2,000 justify that 20 to 30% bump in FPS? Considering you can get RTX 2060 for $699 with the gateway, or if you want to spend a little bit more money, you can get the Lenovo Legion 5 with similar specs, same exact CPU, but RTX 2060, again for $1,000. Does spending twice the amount of money will give you twice the joy? I personally don't think so. I cannot justify spending that $2,000 for this specific laptop and keeping it, especially when you have, in my case, a higher end gaming desktop that you can play most of your games, and this is going to be just something that you can take in another room or take it on a trip and play. So again, it's up to you if you want to spend that kind of money, if you have the budget, if that's your only computer. Yeah, I understand that, but $2,000 for something that's going to be extra, I cannot justify, definitely. In my particular case, I'm actually going to return this, get my money back, because I just don't need the $2,000 laptop. That's how it is. I have the gateway, I have the Lenovo Legion 5, which you're gonna see in the next couple of videos. I have the HP Omen 15 that just came with the Ryzen 7, much better CPU than this one, RTX 2060 again. So we're actually gonna do comparison between the RTX 2060 on the Lenovo, on the gateway, and on the HP. 3 different CPUs, same exact graphics card. We'll see what kind of differences we're gonna get, but that's again a subject for another video. The GE66, excellent laptop, really nice. Most of the things on it are outstanding, just not outstanding enough to justify the $2,000. The nVidia 3000 mobile GPUs is right around the corner, coming in a couple months. Same with the new generation Ryzen 5 mobile chips. So there's a lot of movements, a lot of shifts are coming very soon in the mobile computing world, and I'm expecting a much higher performance from these new CPUs and GPUs coming up. So I'm definitely gonna keep my $2,000 from this one and invest it on a newer generation that you guys are gonna see later on whenever these come up in a couple of months or whatever. Hit a thumbs up if you like the video, stay tuned to the channel, subscribe if you're new, hit that bell notification, and as always guys, you have a wonderful day.